Karnataka has been at the forefront of social justice politics. It was among the earliest states in South India to introduce measures aimed at improving representation for backward classes in education and government employment. Over the decades, caste-based representation and affirmative action became central to Karnataka's political identity, and cabinet formation has often reflected the state's complex social equation. Yet, Karnataka has had only a limited number of Brahmin chief ministers, including K. Chengalaraya Reddy, Karidal Manjappa, and R. Gundu Rao. Now, the latest Karnataka cabinet expansion has reviewed the debate over representation. The cabinet currently has no women minister and no Brahmin representation. The absence of women has drawn particular attention because the Congress has consistently projected women's empowerment as a major political commitment and has highlighted women-forced welfare schemes such as Griha Lakshmi. So while the cabinet seek to balance caste, religion and political interests, the question have been raised over whether some sections have been left out, and two names dominate the latest expansion: BZ Zamir Ahmed Khan and SS Mallikarjun. Zamir's return marks a major political comeback. Five-time MLA from Chamrajpet and former Housing and Waqf Minister, was among the most closely watched names during the cabinet exercise. His return is significant because he was earlier removed from the ministry after an audio recording allegedly showed him working against Congress candidate Samarth Shamlur during the Davangere by-election. The episode was viewed as a serious breach of party discipline. Sources said Zamir later apologized to the Karnataka leadership and the Congress High Command. He was also summoned to New Delhi, where senior AICC leaders discussed whether he should be brought back into the cabinet. Despite the controversy, support for his return grew within the party. Some Congress leaders described him as a capable leader and argued that his induction would strengthen monetary representation. His comeback now appears to show that political relevance, representation, and electoral calculation ultimately outweighed concern over prolonged disciplinary action. But the bigger political twist came from Davangere. Bhaktakal Honavara, MLA and former Minister Mankal Vaidya, was reportedly included in an initial cabinet list, but his name was dropped at the last moment. The Congress later described his appearance on the list as typographical error. The explanation triggered whispered political speculation. Instead, Davangere North MLA SS Mallikarjun was inducted into the cabinet. Sources said Mallikarjun had indicated that he would resign if he was denied as ministerial berth. His induction also reflects the political influence by the Shamnur family in Davangere. Mallikarjun is the son of late Congress stalwart Shamnur Shiv Shankar Appa. His wife, Prabha Mallikarjun, is a member of parliament. His son, Samarth Shamnur, is the MLA from Davangere South. The family has remained a major political force in the region for decades and has significant influence within the Lingayat community. The contrasting developments involving Zamir Ahmed Khan, Mankal Vaidya and SS Mallikarjun underline the difficult choices before the Congress leadership. Zamir's return suggests that political relevance, minority representation and electoral consideration can outweigh concern over internal discipline. The reversal involving Vaidya and the induction of Mallikarjun show that strong religion network and powerful community leadership continue to influence cabinet decision. At the same time, the absence of women and Brahmins had added another dimension to the debate over representation. For Zamir Ahmed Khan, this is a major political comeback. For SS Mallikarjun, it is a significant rise backed by one of Davangere's most influential political families. But for the Congress, the cabinet expansion is also a test of balance. It reflects the challenge of managing party discipline, caste representation, religion influence, and competing power centers, while ensuring that the party's commitment to social justice and women empowerment reflect not only in policy but also in political representation. Karnataka cabinet expansion, therefore, is more than a reshuffle. It is a political balancing act, and that debate over who returned, who entered, and who was left out is the only beginning.